Hello, my name is Mike Pfaff, and this is my YouTube channel, Living in the Illusion. Now, last time we got together, we talked about that you're responsible for what you see, and why, if you look at that video, you'll find out that I might have left some things out. And as I looked at it, I thought, well, we should add some stuff to that. So now we're going to add some stuff to that in a little different way. Okay? So this time we're going to talk about this cup. I drink a lot of tea, and so I usually, even though you don't see it, I have a little teacup around. So I wanted you to take a look at this teacup, because this is what we're going to talk about. Do you see this cup? I'll put it over here. You see it? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. So that's what we're going to talk about. Do you see this cup? And do you see it the way it is? Maybe you see it different. So what we're going to do is, again, remember how I drew the big head last time? Oh, by the way, I'll put a link in as to what the last video was that I'm referring to. So I put a big head in here, and then inside the head I put the brain. I'm not going to put the big head this time. I'm just going to put the brain. So the brain kind of looks like this. Kind of. Not really, but kind of. So the cup that we're going to be talking about is outside of you. Now, I only draw simple things, so don't expect a lot of artistic ability as I draw this cup. So good enough for who it's for. Can you see the cup that I drew? Now, we know that we take in information from our senses as to what's outside of us. So here's this cup, and if your eyeball was here and you were looking at the cup, you would see an upside down cup. I'm not going to draw the upside down cup, but you would see that inside your eye. And then the information, what kind of information? Electromagnetic and chemical information would go to the brain, in the back of the brain. Okay? Now this is the hard part for me. I want to draw a hand around this cup, and I'm not sure how I can do that very easily. So you're going to have to use a lot of your imagination. This is the thumb wrapping around. Yeah, close enough. So these are your fingers around the cup. You get the idea? Okay? Now the hand is holding the cup, and it's going to take information to the brain. So when you are looking at the cup, and its interface with the brain. Are you seeing this cup? Now this cup represents anything that's outside of you. What's outside of you? Is what we talked about last time. What's outside of you? Everything. And energy. So, what's the eye seeing? No, we talked about that. The eye is seeing energy in wavelengths, nanometers of energy. Wavelengths. And they go to the brain. Okay? So they go to the brain, and then the brain, this part here, takes the information and the data, and what's it do with it? It compares it to your past experiences, which are memories. If you have no past experience, if you have no, I want to say memories, past experiences, reference information, the data that comes into here, meaningless. Meaningless. As received, the data out here, which is only energy, is meaningless too. It's just data. It's just information. Most people don't get that because they think, oh, I look outside and I see things. We already found out that you don't see things. You determine what you see. You create what you see. And you think it's there. Something's there, a ripple in the outside energy system, but it's not what you think it is. What's outside of you is never what you think it is. That's why you can't see this cup. You think you see this cup. You see something, because it's an energy system, but you don't see this cup. That's what we're going to talk about. Now, you got your hand around the cup. I got to show you, because this is a little hard to see, but you got the hand around the cup, and the hand is attached to the body, and inside of the hand are part of this peripheral nervous system, goes up, down to the spinal column, up through your reptile, which we talked about, and then into your brain, and you have data in the brain based upon what you're doing in the hand. The heat, the weight, the texture, all of that stuff is coded information. In the hand, meaningless. In the hand, meaningless. The outside is meaningless. You got information. The information goes to the brain. What's the brain going to do with it? A very interesting question. It's got to have some reference material that it can use to make the information meaningful. So it creates a hologram inside of you based upon your memories, your reference material, your past experiences. So if you're looking at this cup, are you seeing this cup? I'm going to suggest you're not. I'm going to suggest that you are seeing a conglomeration of all your experiences, reference material, throughout your life. Starting with little sippy cups that you that held liquids, and then other cups, and then bottles, and beer bottles, and all kinds of things that hold liquid so that you can drink. And this becomes your reference point. If, you see, this is a glass cup. If I drop it, will it break? Well, what's your reference material? If it's glass, it's got a good possibility. The handle's going to break, it's going to crack. It'll definitely, what do you think? Spill the tea. Want it spill the tea? Here's the point. You don't know it from this cup. You know it from your experience. So you don't see this cup. You see a conglomeration of all your experiences. You don't see this. It just washes away from you because of your experience. You say, oh, I don't have to know this cup. I know all about cups. And that's why you don't see this cup. Now, if you hold the cup up, and you're going to feel the weight, you're going to feel the texture, how it holds on your shoulder, how you move it around, you do all of that. Those are all memories. You know where you learned them? You know where you picked up those memories? Before age 3. You might not have thought about that. Yes, most of your memories that you have about the world around you, you developed before age 3. So in a lot of ways, you're looking at the world with a very immature mind that you developed before age 3. So, again, what I want to point out, and what I don't think I did a good job in the last one, is to recognize all your senses are the same way. All your senses are the same way. Most of your sense information comes from visual, from your eye. But it's not information, it's just information. There's no, down this optic nerve that's going here, there's no cup, there's no tea going down there into the brain. Nothing from the outside goes on the inside through your senses. Nothing. It doesn't matter what sense it is. It's all converted at the interface between the outside and the inside through your senses. You are separated from your outside environment. Your body does not feel, see, hear the outside environment. That's an illusion. All those things that you think you see and hear and touch and smell are all created in here. They're not created out here. This is only energy. And there's an interface between your senses, your eye in this case, your hand, and the outside environment. The body does not sense the outside environment. What you think of as the outside environment is a creation in here based upon, again, those three things. Subconscious mind, the mind that holds all this information, the brain that processes the information, and the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system what takes the information in at the interface, brings it in here, and then you interpret it. That's why what's out here is an illusion. But as Einstein said, it's a very persistent illusion. So, aren't we having fun? I hope you are, and I hope you begin to recognize nothing is what you think it is in this three-dimensional space-time universe. But you'll believe you know what it is. Amazing. Now, was there anything else that I wanted to bring up here? Yeah. You're creating your world. Again, as I stated before, the world's not out here. The world's not out here. It's energy out here. The world that you create in here. And then you do a magnificent thing. You project it onto the outside with your conscious mind. And you believe what you created in here is out here. Amazing. See all the fun you have? Here's the magnificent thing. If you recognize that, then what you create in here can be magnificent. And you'll project it out here, and this will be magnificent, even though it's still in here. If your life isn't what you'd like it to be, depressed, anxious, PTSD from experiences you've had up here, you can change it. You can change anything. But you got to know how. And you got to begin to recognize you're doing it to yourself. If you think somebody else is doing it, you have to wait for them to change, for them to do something different. You operate on your belief system. You don't operate on what's real. There's not that much real. It's all done in here. So, your subconscious mind is like a magic show. It makes everything meaningful in here. Outside, energy. Outside is nothing what you think it is. It's all different. So, do you see this cup? When you say you see this cup, you're living in the illusion. When you recognize you don't see this cup, then you start awakening. Start seeing your world different. You start not seeing things so damn serious. And you can let go of what you don't need. Outside of you, only energy, unmanifested, and meaningless. Meaningless energy outside you. When you take it in through the interface of your senses, you put meaning on it. So this is where your world is. You think it's outside. That's an illusion. That's what you're living in. You're living in an illusion. you don't see this cup. You see this interpreted in here by the information that comes down through your sensory input. Nothing outside of you except energy. So, again, I might think of something else to add to this, but maybe we'll take another topic. Do something different. Again, you don't see this cup, you don't see any cup the way it is. You see your outside world, you see this cup the way you are. And you will believe for all the world, you see this cup the way it is. And that's your reality and an illusion. So, we'll think about something else for next time. And be good to yourself. Have fun. And we'll talk to you next time.